Excellent again from Tristan Stubbs. Down the track, got to the pitch of it. And placement, wow, I tell you what, he's seeing it like a football at the moment. Down the ground, wasn't totally clean, but it's still gone a long, long way. I think it hit a little bit low on the bat, actually. That's why I didn't get so much elevation, but gee, what a fine shot.
Hey, run up. Choose the call. They're going for it. Tristan Stubbs becomes the first South African in 6 years to score a Test match 100 here in Durban. The crowd are up on their feet and salute this young man who has played so well alongside his captain. Stubbs with 100 in the second innings.
Always given. Is that pitching outside? Is that contact outside the line? That's what Tristan Stubbs is hoping. He's got to his three-figure score, but does he have to be on his way?
Original decision is out. Ball pitching outside off. The impact is outside. Paul, you have to reverse your original decision of out or not out. Stand by. You're on screen, signal.
Decision overturned.
It's gone between slip and keeper. An audacious shot from Stubbs. What a shot. Use of the feet from Stubbs. And back over the top for 4.
There's 4 of them, so now it's just 2 short. And that's off the thigh pad. It's confirmed by umpire Rifle.
Bowled him. A long way across, trying to work it leg side. And Stubbs' leg stump goes cartwheeling up the ground.
It's been an exciting innings. Unfortunately, the innovation has just let him down here, but the innings has been excellent.
Yeah, just deciding to take the attack, wasn't he, to the bowlers and trying to be a little more inventive, trying to be a bit of a T20 cricketer again, Tristan Stubbs, for a while, and trying to score at a rapid rate. But what a fantastic innings. 122, showed some wonderful maturity and patience and played a very, very good innings in this Test arena. 122 he goes for, 338 for 4.
And here comes the captain, Themba Bavuma.
That's a top shot. Themba Bavuma, ever so slightly short, and he seized upon that. Nicely done for 4.
That's his first boundary of the innings, Themba Bavuma.
Nicely bowled and well kept out by Bavuma, who works it onside. Fast outfield, and he'll get going with the boundary. 4 runs.
Oh boy. Leg byes indicated by Paul Rifle.
Use of the feet and nicely popped over the top there by Themba Bavuma. The angle of coming over the wicket does open up that leg side, but there's the element of risk. But swift use of the feet and nicely played. That's beautifully played. We've seen him play a few paddles, and what they've done is moved that man behind square a little bit finer, and then eventually he gets one he recognizes, does Bavuma, and slaps it properly in front of square.
Nicely nudged. A ripple of applause at Kingsmead, and it's to congratulate Themba Bavuma on getting to a 23rd career half-century in Test matches. 17 in the first innings, and here he is on 50 here. He's batted beautifully. Beautiful shot. There's that use of the feet once again, and away it goes for 4.
It's really nicely played by Themba Bavuma. Got onto it quickly and placed it well.
An excellent shot by Themba Bavuma. He swept it way in front of square, and I think he's going to pick up another boundary. Yeah, they're moving along now, South Africa. That lead now 394. Nicely worked. That's beautifully timed. That's gone for 4 effortlessly from Bavuma. That's the end of the 82nd over.
Oh, heart-in-mouth stuff, I tell you. Bavuma up to 93.
He's got a little sweep underway. Was there connection with the Willow? We'll have to wait for that. He's coming back for the second. We're going to have to wait to get the umpire's final call on this. He's coming back for the third. Has he gone to his third Test 100? What a performance. Outstanding. Outstanding from Temba Bavuma. That's number 3. Had to pass a fitness test before this one. He would have been very nervous going into this. Hadn't batted in the middle for over 7 weeks. Played so well, so determinedly in the first innings for 70, and now he's doubled up superbly with his third Test 100. That is just magnificent. Congratulations, Temba. That's nice and fine. That's going to be, I think, going to be a leg bye. We'll have to wait for a call from Paul Rifle. Yes, it is.
Oh, that's close. That's very close. Given out.
Original decision is out. Ball pitching outside off. The impact is in line. Wickets hitting. Stay with your decision. Stand by. Signal.
The finger goes up. Pommy, what are you talking about? Of course things go your way. Quality from Temba. 113 he goes for. 366 for 5.
Dinesh Chandimal has walked out to the middle, 35 years old now.
Nicely driven through the covers. 4 runs across this lush outfield in Durban. Oh, he's got that just past the slip area for 4.
A bit short and just making sure that it gets down, getting it past Marco there at Gully. This is the partnership to break for South Africa.
He's got that away like a flash.
Being the most experienced of the lot, these two, you'd expect a different approach, but they seem to be continuing with it.
Rolls the wrists and plays that beautifully. Reached the boundary for 4.
Rolled with it and played it beautifully to the mid-wicket boundary. Made sure he's kept his eye on it, not like the last one where he took his eye off it and worn it in the ribs.
Classic from Chandimal for 4.
Just rocking onto that front foot and just playing through the line. Relying on his timing, which is something he's always had throughout his career. Playing in his 85th Test match, so he's been very proficient with the Willow over the years, and of course has done some keeping as well for a long time.
Cut away. And 4 runs. Throws the bat at it. And away it goes through the covers. Vacant. Gone for 4.
And they've done a wonderful job so far, these two experienced batters for Sri Lanka. Is he going to haul it in? No. Straight after the drinks break, a boundary, and it also brings up the 50 for Dinesh Chandimal.
Short ball through mid-on. It's not the usual place for a pull shot, but we'll take it.
Nicely played. Worked onto the onside, and it's away for 4. Playing it late as well.
Straight down the ground is Marco Jansen after it, but the ball wins the race for 4.
Keshav Maharaj just tossing one up. And a good extension of the arm, just hitting it straight, not in full control, but he'll take it, and I don't think Keshav Maharaj will have an issue with that.
Nicely played again. This time it's Chandimal.
He got himself into an excellent position on top of the bounce, hitting it down into the ground. Classy shot.
That's a beautiful shot.
He got absolutely cracked to the boundary.
Into the 80s now.
Oh no, it didn't
Take catch! Gerald Coetzee strikes a massive blow. And Dinesh Chandimal, who has shown so much resolve and fight, has got to make his way off the field. South Africa pick up wicket number 7. The spectators, they applaud Dinesh Chandimal's out for 83. 271 for 7 Sri Lanka.
Dhananjaya De Silva has had to walk out there. Shot. Nicely flicked away by Dhananjaya De Silva.
De Silva, he is so strong in that area. If you're going to come onto his pads, he's going to whip you into that leg side. Beautiful balance. Yeah, it was airborne for a little while, but absolutely no danger in that region.
Shot. Really well played.
Yeah, he gets himself into an excellent position. Perhaps the bounce is not high enough from Gerald Coetzee, but he was in full control.
Pick up a few runs here. And Temba Bavuma gives up the chase. It'll reach the boundary for 4.
It's nicely worked on the onside. The ball's going to win here. Fast outfield.
That is some shot. Class from De Silva.
I caught the Zorzi saying big wafting drive from he doesn't fancy it. Well, he fancied that one and played it pretty well. Nice coverage up.
Nice shot.
Such a good sign, that Keshox.
Really well played. Away for 4.
Fantastic shot from Dhananjaya. I think it's the shot of the day for me.
Shot again. This time off the back foot. Nobody's stopping that. It's gone for 4.
Oh, excellent adjustment.
Oh, fantastic shot. Look at that. Total control.
Gets himself into a wonderful position, head over the ball. Always in control of that shot.
It's gone for the sweep again.
It's an excellent over, and it also brings up the half century for Dhananjaya De Silva.
Great shot. Advancing down the wicket. Dhananjaya De Silva gets his maximum.
Yeah, he's shown great comfort in facing the left arm spinner this time. Using the feet.
Catch! Yes! That's what South Africa have been fighting so hard for this morning. And Keshav Maharaj brings the breakthrough.
It's been there for so long, and then suddenly a slower delivery, stops a little bit, right at the bottom of the bat, and could not pick out Stubbs any better. So this is an important wicket, breaking that partnership just before the break. They've got a right to be happy at the moment. These South Africans, I've told hard, they've been nice and patient. He's batted superbly. I think he's done a fine job, actually, the skipper. 59, 196 for 6 now. Sri Lanka still miles behind, though.
Marco Jansen.
Marco Jansen strikes a crucial blow. The batters are having a chat. Will they review this?
Original decision is out. The ball is pitching outside off. The impact is in line and wicket's hitting. Stand by, Snika. The on-screen Signal.
Confirmation that is out, and the big fish, Angelo Matthews, is going to make his way off the field.
There you go. There's the edge. The sound as it went past.
You can hear clearly that there's a noise as it goes past that outside edge. The South Africans were convinced. Look at the celebrations. Mendes goes for 10, 99 for 4.
Edged and gone. Janssen picks up his 10th wicket in the match. The South Africans are up and about, just 1 wicket away from a historic win in Durban.
Yeah, brilliant from Janssen. We've seen throughout the second innings in particular with that wrist that he's presented. He's just got the ball almost to leg cut to a right-handed batsman. And on the length, he gets brought into the attack. Marco Janssen has been brilliant with ball throughout this test match. 276 for 9. Kusal Mendes goes for 48.
Picks up the final wicket.
Dead straight, taking his leg stump completely out the ground, and a fitting way to end the test match. Climbing up the ranks, Marco Janssen. Beautiful sight for everyone to watch and to keep that in the memory bank.
He's got 11 in the match, and South Africa beat Sri Lanka for the first time ever in a test match at Kingsmead.
That's a good start to his career. 49 wickets, 1 away from the 50. Strike rate's good, average is good, but wasn't quite at his best at the back end of last season. So he'll be dead keen to start his bowling in the test arena in a positive manner. Edge, there's another one, this time taken by Stubbs. Janssen eventually finds the right area and the right line, and South Africa are off to a flyer.
Well, I mentioned the fact that they can nick off. We've seen 2 now. Nasanka goes for 3, 7 for 2 now, Sri Lanka.
Got him. That one is straight, that one shaped back, and that one knocked over the dollies.
He was going across the right hand, and this occasion hitting the seam, nipping back. This is exactly where you want to get it, Marco Janssen. And there is no prettier sight in world cricket than to see that off-stump cartwheeling. Chandimal, he goes for naught. Sri Lanka now in deep trouble at 9 for 3.
Gone. Another one down.
It's the type of pressure the South African bowlers have mounted on the Sri Lankan batsmen that's causing this indecision outside off stump. Comfortable catch. David Bellingham goes for 1, 16 for 4.
There's another one. He's dragged this one on. The angle's worked. Janssen's on fire.
And that's another Sri Lankan wicket that parries. 32 for 6.
Crizo catch it, a low catch, and it's taken. South Africa running through Sri Lanka here at Kingsmead. And it's Janssen with another.
Jayasuriya goes for naught. 32 on the ball.
Oh, gone. Best test match figures in an innings for Marco Janssen. Career best 6 for 13, beating his previous best of 5 for 35. It's the Marco Janssen show.
6 for 13. Fernando goes for naught. Sri Lanka 42 for 9.
And that's it. A tame, but what a finish from Marco Janssen. 7 for 13, and Sri Lanka bowled out for 42.
Fernando goes for 0. Marco Janssen, he is walking on air. If he's not tall enough, he's still walking on air, and so he should be. Takes all the accolades, takes all the... South Africa with 3 down, but a good partnership, as you mentioned, Hayes. 38 of 69 deliveries. Temba, he's been nice and aggressive, 27 of 35.
Yeah, he's played nicely. The bowlers have been really good, particularly Kumara. He's picked up 2 wickets. Currently sitting at 2 for 17 of a 5-over burst, and he bowled quite briskly at times, got a bit of movement off the seam. There hasn't been too much happening off this surface, just a bit of extra bounce from the duck pond end. And Jay Saria's bowled 7 overs, which is perhaps a little bit surprising, but someone had to just back them up a little bit for a while. Keeps things nice and tight. Now I guess he's playing more of a holding role than anything else right now. And just to silver the 1 over, just to see off the session before they went to lunch. But Temba Bavuma, Chris has played nicely again, doubling up at this stage from the first test.
Yeah, we spoke about it before the lunch break. The calmness that Temba Bavuma brought to the crease. You felt when he walked in there was a lot of control. He understood the assignment. And with Ryan Rickleton, they just soaked up a little bit of pressure, which they were under. And he just has played some beautiful cricket shots. Showed how his movements, how still he was at the crease. And today he's been absolutely so good with his movements. He's positive when he needed to be, but apart from that, very solid.
Strike rates just 39 for Rickleton at the moment, and Bavuma 77. Of course, strike rates are not all that important in Test match cricket, but it gives an indication of how aggressively and how well Bavuma has played since he arrived at the crease. Clearly riding high after that 70 and then that third Test 100 in the second innings after working so hard in that first test, in the first innings of that test in Durban. But Rickleton is one of those guys who's very determined. He's a fine player, he's got enormous talent, and if he wanted to really kick on here, but Sri Lanka after the break would love to pick up another one. I'm not sure their lines have been quite as good as it was in Durban, but this is an opportunity for them to get stuck in straight away.
As far as the bounce goes, Hayes, it's been almost a little bit more like a Sri Lankan kind of surface. There hasn't been extensive bounce, and it's been about holding decent lines. So you would think game plan wise it shouldn't take much adjusting for them to go into a mindset of we're back home, and maybe it's offering a little bit more than what we'd experienced there. But how can we bowl with some discipline? Change of end now for Vishwa Fernando, and I think this could be a good call.
Yeah, I think you might enjoy this. To the left-handed Rickleton. We're going to call that 3 slips. So you can expect perhaps a little bit more bounce for Vishwa Fernando from that end.
So interesting to see the field that they've got set. 3 men back on the fence, 2 behind square in the leg side, and 1 at a very square backward point. I don't know if it's going to be a case of every once in a while the short pitch delivery, but I think having picked up 3 wickets, they're almost saying to South Africa, well, we'll set this kind of field, some slips to catch, but you make the play.
Not sure about that backward point on the offside. You can understand perhaps the other 2. Maybe if they want to try and strike early, perhaps someone lurking in the gully region with Rickleton might be worth a bit of a go rather than a run saver straight after a break.
Yeah, and the tactic probably would be to keep as patient as possible as the bowling unit and force the South African batters to make a play. If they do attack, they've got the protection out there.
Angelo Matthews finding himself at extra cover. I thought with all his experience he might have negotiated a more friendly position than one that's in the middle of the action.
I had a chat to them this morning. The only thing he said to me was, yep, I'm still playing, still here. He says almost time to let the youngsters do their thing, but I'm still here, still going.
Well, it's a bit of carry through to Mendes, the keeper. Taking it around about shoulder height, but doesn't necessarily say it's all that much carry, I suppose. There's a look at the surface after the lunch break. It's not warm in Gqeberha today. It's only a high of 24 degrees, pretty much the same next couple of days. But there is a slight change of colour. Slight change from the start of play this morning. Taking advantage of the straighter hit that time, Rickleton, and transferring whatever pressure is out there right now to Bavuma. Interested to see if there's any specific plans they come up with Temba. They saw a lot of them, of course, in Durban. I think the way that Temba has counterpunched things since arriving so far at the crease, there doesn't seem to be anything that they're really working on. See if they've had a bit of a chat at the lunch break to try and come up with something else. That man at deep square leg has just gone a fraction in front of square. Picked up that short ball so early he could hit it well in front of square just before the break. Now there's a bit of a gust of wind around the place. Into the over, 28 gone, 83 for 8, 83 for 3.
South Africa women versus
Beddington to come in next, and also Verreynne. You remember that Kamara in the first test match got rid of both of those with a couple of fine deliveries, perhaps a couple of shots which particularly Verreynne won't want to see again. Beddington chopping with inside edge onto the stumps, and Verreynne batting on off stump. LBW. But it's Rickleton and Bavuma now.
Yeah, change of ends for Asita Fernando as well.
Midland leg worked away, strong. The outfield's really quick. Work to be done. Just tracking that, I think. We'll have to wait and see what the final adjudication is of that, but I think it was stopped. You would have thought he would have singled. That's going to be 4 if it wasn't stopped.
Well, you touched on the outfield, Hazard. It has been blitz. There's been some shots with just been little punches through the cover area. Let's have a look. No, that's going to be a 4. Bounces off the cushion.
So boundary off the first ball of this over from Asita Fernando. Airborne, fine, and that's going to be another boundary. Man's very square, not sure that's ideal.
Yeah, perfect way to start off after lunch from Ryan Rickleton. The first shot was all class. Not looking to overhit it, leaning on the ball, using the timing. On this occasion, gets a short wide one and just flashing it. And understanding, you can go hard, lifting it over that gully region. Another boundary back to back.
He was very watchful before lunch, but all of a sudden he's walked out here. And he's got a few freebies there. That was it. Just open the face, over third man, pick yourself up a boundary.
That's the way Ryan Rickleton's been playing today. I mentioned before lunch how he loves to bludgeon the ball, loves to time it around the ground. That one's all class, just leaning on it, not looking to overhit. And this one he could throw the hands at. And that's the Ryan Rickleton we've come to know in his young international career. But he's been so good today, focusing on every delivery, playing it on merit. And when you've got a player that is as powerful as he is, to play the way he has done today has been excellent.
Australian leg side of fraction. What they're doing at the moment, these two batsmen are just picking him off at this stage. Heading, of course, straight to Bavuma. He's just going to work away easily on that leg side, and Rickles is a free-flowing player, so a couple of boundaries that he's picked up has probably kicked him into that second session nicely.
Sita Fernando has definitely not been as good as he was in Durban. He's going at over 5 to the over. He's gone for 7 boundaries. That's basically 1 and over. Bowled 7.4 overs. And you can see the disappointment, just a little talking to himself. And all of a sudden the field's changed as well, from 2 slips in a gully. Captain Danaja is saying, you don't get that luxury anymore. We need to make sure we stem this flow of runs straight away after the lunch break.
Polly, you always enjoy taking the first over after lunch, after a good meal.
Funny enough, if I was coming out to bowl a battle to eat, I would have maybe a bit of ice cream, you know, me and my sweet tooth. But it wouldn't be a big meal. I didn't fancy it coming out with a full stomach and trying to charge in. A battle to get it anywhere near 130, and with a big belly, it made it even worse.
So 10 off that over, 93 for 3. And 59. And Australia and Sri Lanka 3 and 4. New Zealand are out of it now after losing that test match against England, and also getting docked some points, 3 points I think it was, for a slow over rate. I read it that South Africa have actually got to play really well for the rest of the summer. My read on this is that South Africa have actually got to win 3 tests, including this one and the next 2, to be assured of a spot. As a look at the summer of summer coming your way on SuperSport, the women's series against England, 3 T20s, 3 ODIs, and also a test match, the 24th of November through the 18th of December. South Africa, Sri Lanka is almost finished. This is the last test, and then a full series against Pakistan as well. It's a good strong shot. That's nicely played. Brings up a 50 partnership with a fine drive.
You don't often see Temba Bavuma going straight down the ground. He's normally extra cover. There's an area he tends to hit it, and there's the 50 partnership appreciation between the two. A little bit of a hug and a couple of pats on the back. And after being 44 for 3, they were desperate for something to unfold in the partnership column, but that is a wonderful shot. To such a good position. Doesn't get a massive stride, no need to. All about presenting the bat as straight as possible, and he does exactly that.
Oh, that's a beauty. That's a nice comeback, just past that outside edge.
Yeah, that was my thinking when they went to Wifa Fernando, that he caused a few problems for Temba Bavuma in Durban. There was countless occasions, probably 5 to 10 deliveries, where the ball did exactly that. On the angle, looking like it's going to target the stumps, and then just straightening. He beat the outside edge. You can see the way he's holding it. He's trying to almost get it to grip away, almost like a bit of an off-cutter. And that's beautifully bowled. On the surface, to beat the edge is going to be a challenge as it goes along, and we may see more of those kind of deliveries, just cutting across it.
A nice line to bowl to as well. To the right hand is Efma around the wicket. Almost like a stripe on the pitch when Bavuma's on strike. Unfinished this 50 stand at the moment. 8 4s and a 6. Bavuma's got 33 of the 54. Rickleton's patient and happy to be patient at this stage. So just to finish the point about what I was saying about the World Test Championship, that to win this test and win the next two against Pakistan confirms South Africa will get through to that World Test Championship final. If they don't win the three, then they'll have to rely on other results to make sure that they do not get, for example, if Sri Lanka win this, then that keeps them very much alive. So they've got to be watchful of what's happening between India and Australia. But 3 tests to go, 3 wins confirms the spot. End of the over, 30 gone, 98 for 3.
There's been a very good partnership between Rickleton and Bavuma. Came South Africa a little bit under pressure, but they've steadied the ship nicely. Bavuma's played some excellent cricket shots, and Rickleton's been very, very steady, biding his time, soaking up a little bit of pressure, and the shots have started to flow straight after lunch. Important partnership for South Africa in this test match.
Right, so 2 away from 3 figures South Africa, and this partnership's done them proud. 3 for 44 when they joined each other in the middle. They're going nice, these two at the moment. Sita Fernando from the commentary box end. Sean, I've got a couple of things to have a look at. This is for you to study. It's a pitch map from the first 2 hours in Durban compared to today as well. There's the Red Bulls at Kingsmead. And we all were very happy with the way they went there. Here's today. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think more short pitch deliveries. They decided to try and use the bouncer, particularly Kamara. It didn't have to in Durban because the ball was nipping around and shaping. And you would tend to suggest that in Durban they went a little bit fuller because they were getting some assistance through the air. But the grouping's still pretty good. And it's been definitely evident of the lack of movement compared to what we saw in Durbs. Convinced about is this backward point on the fence. Just being able to just knock it into the offside and pick up a single was Temba Bavuma in the last delivery he faced. I think you need to kind of make them try and force the ball through the infield, and on a surface like that, sometimes where you try and go too hard at it, you might make a mistake and bring about an edge. But for now, there's too many comfortable singles for me. I'd be backing my bowlers and saying, come on, let's get it nice and straight. Target our lines just on off stump and make sure we don't offer up any width, and I'm going to back that up with a nice tight field set.
Again now with Asita Fernando bowling, he's got a nice line, a nice stripe if you like, that he can bowl down to Rickleton, a guideline. Goes short over the top of the leg stump. Someone heard something with their guys away from the bat near the umpire that were optimistic.
Yeah, when the bowler and the keeper aren't overly interested, the man that covers not going to win his way to get it sent upstairs. It was Angelo Matthews who was interested, and the captain says no. Angelo Silva says no, we're not going to send it up. We're not going to waste one of our reviews.
It's the line I think he needs to lock into, maybe a little bit tighter as well to Rickleton to try and him to have a dip at that. Reach for something outside the line of that off stump.
Line.
99 for 3.
The action heads down under. Featuring the greatest players from around the globe. Watch the FIH Pro League live on Geo Cinema and Sports 18.3.
So 99 for 3, 31 overs in. And conditions are pretty pleasant right now, out in the middle. Short and wide, chopped away, straight to that man, a deep backward on the offside.
Yeah, that's not the ideal delivery. That brings up the 100 for South Africa. But I was touching on a few deliveries. Have a look at some of these that caused problems for Temba Bavuma, and that's why maybe they went to Fernando after the lunch break. He was the one guy who troubled Temba in Durban. Couple of edges, couple of beats in the inside edge, couple of beats in the outside edge. And that's what you tend to do as a captain. You kind of have a memory as to who's troubled who. And when it goes to who you should go to after the lunch break, you think, well, who's batting and who caused them the most trouble? Let me go for that option.
I guess for the time being, just holding Kamara back a little bit, hoping a wicket's going to fall and then bring him flying in with Beddington arriving.
Mic testing. Voice is clear.
Up in the first innings of Durban, so ideally he'd want these two, his Fernandos. Force of Kumara in, maybe with the control of Jayasuriya.
Yeah, and you almost feel from Sri Lanka's point, they just need to almost bowl one side of the wicket. So at the moment, the South African batters are rotating on either side. So if you want to get into that play and talk about the deep point, you can have the deep point, but then you pull your mid wicket across. Bring that extra fielder in there, maybe an extra catcher.
Clear.
Stick to one side of the wicket and force him to go across. Well, right now, as you can see, you've got that man out there. It's just easy pickings for these two batters.
Yeah, that's killing me. It's killing me from a tactical perspective that they just keep allowing the South Africans to pick up a single. I mean, you even get the team together and say, okay, guys, what do we want here? We want to hit hard lengths. Ball's not in the pin around, so we've got to just be accurate, be patient. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze from a fielding perspective. So every one of our best fielders, you're going to stop the singles, make sure there's nothing for free. Ask the South Africans to try and hit it as hard as they possibly can through the inner ring. And that'll bring the slips into play and maybe make them make a mistake. This just doesn't make sense. Watch Temba. He'll just knock it on the offside and pick up a single here.
Chopped away pretty quickly down to that region. They might be able to come back for the second. Yep, Temba decides to double up, so a bonus run there for the knock on.
You seen this movie before, Sean?
Well, that one was a shocker. That was width. If the man had been up, that would have been 4. That's exactly the line you don't need to bowl, and that's why they've got the protection there. But at this level, you would think with the ball not moving around, you'd be able to bowl with lots of control. It's not like it's going to swing out of control or be difficult to hit in the right area. Knock on, scrum down, and the bomb squad.
103 for 3.
India and South Africa, the 90s, always a super hit affair. Every single fast bowler in my colony wanted some of this. And if you manage to pull off a stunning catch pakada re Jonty, all of India showered their love on these guys.
True story.
But as true fans, we want to watch.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Mic testing. Mic testing, mic testing. Voice is clear, clear. Voice is clear. Voice is clear. Mic is clear. Voice is clear, clear. Hello, hello. Voice is clear. I think voice is clear.
Africa, they've created themselves a very good platform at 103 for 3 at the moment. With Captain Temba Bavuma, 37 not out, Ryan Rickleton, 40 not out. Well set. This partnership at the moment, 59 coming of 100 balls. And they will know the importance of converting this partnership into a big one.
Ryan Rickleton in particular, 2 away from his highest test score. Scored right here in Gqeberha against Bangladesh in 2022. Was looking to be on course for a maiden test 50 and was dismissed on 42s. 2 away from his highest test score and has batted well so far.
Yeah, just a little bit on the points of Sean Pollock a little earlier. They've got boundary riders on both sides of the field at the moment. They've got a deep square as well as a deep point. For me, when you play on a good surface, it really tests the steel of the bowler. The control, the patience. Those deep fielders, especially at the point, the deep point, that's a concern for me, because that means that you're not in control of your lines, execution thereof. Those are easy singles for a batter. Right-hand, left-hand combination, which means as a bowler you need to keep adjusting your line. We talk about bowling to a particular batter, you want to try and set him up, but they're not affording themselves the opportunity to do so because they're giving away easy singles here after lunch. Perhaps it's not on point in terms of intensity as well. Yeah, it's a good surface, but you're going to come up against good surfaces from time to time as a bowler. And those are the times where you try to make things happen for your team. And this is one of those venues, Kaz, where catches in front of the bat is as good as those catches behind. Catching cover, catching with wicket. As a bowler, you have to venture up just that half a touch fuller, getting batsmen to drive. Because as a batsman, when you drive and you're continuously hitting fielders, that's frustrating as well. So it's not always the pretty caught behind. Caught first slip, caught second slip. Most of dismissals at this venue. Caught catching cover, caught catching with wicket.
Wicket is clear. Hello, 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 hello. Voice is clear. Hello, 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 hello. Voice is clear. Hello, hello. Mic testing, mic testing.
But that's good probing bowling. A length that's asking the batter to make a decision. Do I go forward? Do I go back? Do I leave it? Do I not? And of this morning, the question I'd ask, even after the break, is how many of their deliveries are actually going to hit the stumps.
105 for 3.
टाइटंस की जिद दिल्ली की
hello, 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 hello. I think voice is clear, clear, clear. Hello, hello, hello. I'm audible. Hello, hello, hello.
For 3 at The plan after lunch was to be keeping it tight, try to break this partnership, get Beddingham, Verena, Janssen into the game. South Africa have scored some quick runs and they've looked comfortable out there.
Yeah, I just think on the actual playing surface, this is a much better surface. Yeah, in Durban there was plenty on offer for those seamers, but this surface requires bowlers to put in spells. It's not just going to happen. You're not just going to blow a batting unit away here. Excellent grass covering. Yeah, if you were out there this morning, you'd have thought there's a lot of demons in that surface. But like the locals will tell you, if the westerly wind is blowing, you can bat all day. Yeah, and the reason I'm pointing out the surface is that I just feel in recent times things happening too easily for bowlers in South Africa. Very often, or very rarely did you see.
Good. Hello. Subscribe my channel. Hello.
We talk about investment spells. Yeah, you're going to have to keep coming back. But if you do the processes correctly, the game will reward you at some stage.
Hello.
Yeah, and that's why I ask about hitting the stumps, about trying to make sure that many of them, particularly early on, with the ball still hard and new. And if you look at what happened in this innings to this point, there's many in and around, and you'll probably make another sort of border that is just bigger than the stumps and just outside to go to 4th and 5th. And so you can live with that, you know, just above the stumps, and then go to the offside for all those batters, and you say, well, you're okay with everything being in that box. Then there's some, the ones that are up at the top, fine, you're just checking it out with the bouncer, but predominantly what you want is for many to be just challenging the stumps and close to that, so that the decisions are having to be made by the batters as they go out there and early in the game on a surface that looks like it's going to be good for batting.
This is the default setting. Threshold is full. What about this setting? Threshold. Attack is
44
full.
for 3.
What
Another
about the
wicket could have really seen South Africa in trouble. Just going back to the point Temba
Really
Bavuma made
full.
in that
What
first
about
test
the
match
wife?
in Durban, the importance of partnerships, and they've carried some of that momentum into the second test match. End of the over, it's 163.
With full. Report. Everything is full. Now guys, please check this. Here is the full. I think background voice is coming. Okay. Again, the output is again normal. Voice. What about voice? Maybe normal. Okay. Default. Threshold full. That's good. Release full. That's then Attack increment. It's good. Output gain is 0, then voice is how much voice? With is full. How is voice? Output gain is low. With is 0. What are voice? Attack is full. What the voice? If ratio is decrease, what the about voice? Hello?
Just like that.
And so in their quest to have an end that's quiet, the person they'll turn to all the time, he's an absolute champion, is Prabhat Jayasuriya when the conditions suit him. But because it's day number 1, because the ball's not going to turn on this surface, Bavuma can use his feet, is in decent form and confident with his game.
Voice is clear. Voice is clear. Now voice is clear.
In their favor. And you don't have to hit all 6 of them. That's enough. Couple of 4s, and you're just leaking too much at one end. And as a skipper, you've then got to think, okay, where do I go next?
End of the over, 114 for 3.
Yeah, Pommy, just on your point, Aswell Prince, he's a massive believer on day 1. If the ball is not turning, that you put those spinners under pressure.
तलाश है अगले T20s.
Hello. Please subscribe. Hello. Please subscribe channel. Voice is clear. Hello.
Kumara and Prabhat Jayasuriya built up really good pressure, leading to the wicket of Tristan Stubbs. So after lunch, South Africa have not allowed Sri Lanka's bowlers to settle. Partnership now is 70. Bavuma 3 away from 50. Rickelton on 41. Sri Lanka desperate for a breakthrough.
So often you watch partnerships develop. Bavuma quite comfortable, a strike rate of 87 to this point with those couple of 4s. And then Rickelton, totally different. Walked in at 3, first time he's done so. Would have also, whilst others piled on runs in Bangladesh, and he'd had his go for 20 and 1 and 12 or whatever he got, he'll have taken the lesson to say, if I get a go, I've got to make sure I make it count. Here, the issue is he's got to stay in his bubble and understand that the guy at the other end's not competing with him, he's working with him. And he doesn't have to do it the same as him. They just have to stay together and dovetail beautifully as they go along. So far, so good, despite not quite being as fluent as he might want. Perhaps you cash in a bit later.
Yeah, I think fantastic point made there, Pom. Great deal of the learning you do is by sitting and watching and how others go about their business. You'd have sit in the changing room, especially in the last test match, doing 12-man duties and watching Tristan Stubbs and Temba Bavuma. You talk about him perhaps being in his shell, but I can tell you that is just him knowing the importance of getting himself in. And after you failed a couple of times, you're not going to give it away easily the next time. But he's got an excellent partner in Temba Bavuma. Talked about it earlier, how there's just a sense of calmness with him at the crease. Being in full control in terms of the partnership forming and developing. Understanding the different gears you've got to go through as a batter. And he will be advising that Rickleton, young Rickleton, and guide him along. And that's important at this level, that you bat with an experienced batter.
Equaled his highest test score, Ryan Rickleton.
Yeah, I think Sri Lanka will be a little bit disappointed with the way that they've executed plans with ball this afternoon. Both these bowlers, perhaps similar style of bowlers to myself. And if they analyse the amount of runs they've been scored square of the wicket, that would be a massive concern. The pace, the skill level requires you to bring those stumps into play like you've been crying out in Mpumelelo. It's a much better length, but with that point fielder being back, it's an easy single. 117 for 3 South Africa.
Average first innings totals here at St George's. It's 312. The last 5 tests, it's 345. If South Africa can get to that 350-odd mark, they'll be really happy. You need some couple of big scores from the Premier batters.